Okay, it's recording now. And I'm going to share the screen so you guys can see. And here is my presentation. Let's put this in. Okay, so I'm doing the presentation on HTML tags, video, audio, and Canvas. We chose this one for this week because it's kind of a short week and these are pretty easy. So let's go to the next one. Okay, audio. Let's see. So audio, before HTML5, we had to use Flash to play audio on your web pages. So now, now it's just a tag. You see where it says audio right here, this tag, you can just embed it using these tags. And controls is just an extra parameter that allows you to stop and play and control the volume, those kinds of things. These right here, the source is the file that you would be playing. And notice there are two listed here. If the OGG doesn't, if the browser couldn't handle that particular type, then it would just go down to the next line and choose, it would go to the first line that it could actually work with, okay? And so this is just the type of file. And then if there is, for some reason, you have a browser that cannot play OGG or MP3, then they would get a message saying your browser doesn't support this audio element, okay? It's that simple. Here are the different types of audio: WAV, OGG, and MP3. And then here are your different browser types. I guess when you're creating a web page, you have to be cognizant of who you're creating it for and what browsers and things that they have to use. So, all right, let's go on to video. Video, just like audio before HTML5, you needed a plugin, which was Flash. And here's some code right here. Once again, it's the video tag. You can define the width and the height. And controls would be just the same as it was for the audio. It's basically, you know, play, pause, those types of controls that you get with that. And then this would be your video file, movie MP4, and it works the same way. Your browser will stop on the first format type that works for it, okay? And if it's not supported, it will get this message. So let's see if there's something I didn't say. The source is the video file. Okay, so the audio play, there's an audio play option that's not shown in here. You would just literally put audio play in here. It doesn't work on mobile or iPad devices, but you could put it in there, which would, as soon as they hit the web page, it will start playing immediately. I saw that it's kind of an unpleasant experience for, can everyone put their thing on mute? The audio play isn't a pleasant thing for people to experience when going on the web page. So they say don't use it, but you can if you have to. And then loop is something where it automatically starts over and over again once upon reaching the end. So here's your video types: MP3, 4, web, and OGG. And there's your browser types that accept it. Safari doesn't accept these two formats. And then I did mine in YouTube because I work on an Apple, and all of my movies are in MOV format. So I have a lot of YouTubes out there, so I decided to use this. It's simply embedding the YouTube in an iframe, using an iframe instead of the, let's go back one more, instead of the video tag. It's an iframe. And I'll show you how to do this, or Basically, you go onto YouTube. I can show you how to do this. And I've done this, like I've enclosed this in a div class, and I've called it YouTube because this is how you can format it on your web page. And you need these 2 bits. Like this is just basically, this first part is just a container, and the second part is referring to the frame and saying how much padding and such that you want around it and how big you want it. So if you want your screen to be bigger, I have done it the other way where, and maybe I should just show you that right now. Oh, wait, actually, what I want to do is I want to go up here. We'll go to YouTube. We'll go to my channel. We'll pick we'll go to one of my videos, whatever, it doesn't matter. Oops, sorry about that. And then here, if you say share and you go to embed, click on that, it'll just give you like the generic, whatever they think and prescribed code that you would just literally, this is like they literally put the iframe in there, the whole 9 yards, whatever you need. But say you didn't want to show the player controls, I do. Or say that you wanted to start at 0.04 or whatever, I don't know, whatever. There's a few options here you can click. Anyways, you would just literally copy this. Okay, notice that they're using the width and the height, and this is the source, obviously. There's no border, autoplay. Okay, so that means if you don't take this out, it's going to play immediately, just like you saw it do. It just started playing click right away. So you might want to, take some of those out, but that's literally, you just take this and you plop it into your HTML, like right here. I would still put it, the way I did it was so that I could make it look nice on my screen, in my thing. Otherwise, what happens is this just goes to the leftmost part of your page, and this way I can make it as big as I want, and I can, and there is a trick to this, like if you go into your CSS, which is your formatting, main CSS is mine, there is a trick. It's 56.25 is the magical number, and that has some sort of ratio of pixels for the, I forget what it was, for the YouTube screen. So I guess I could look it up, but I have all my sources down here in the, I have the source for where I got this stuff. It's one of these, not W3 Schools. It would either be this YouTube, it's probably this YouTube, the very last one, where he literally knows exactly, you know, all the details on it if you wanted to know that. So let's go back to here. So that's basically how that's done. And so that's pretty easy. It's pretty easy to put your audio and your video on. So the hardest one for me was Canvas. I didn't even know what that was. Canvas is just an HTML5 tag or element. When you insert the tag into your HTML, a canvas, like a little board of sorts, is created where you could draw on and manipulate the pieces within it, though. The only stipulation here is you don't draw using HTML, you draw using JavaScript, okay? So you need a separate JavaScript file to be able to do that. And so here's some things you need to know in order to be able to do this well. First, you need to create and be able to resize your canvas however you want it. And then the next thing is you need to know how to draw elements on the screen. And then ultimately, we could animate these little elements on there. And then we can, beyond that, you could interact with them. And how you could interact with them is, say, if the person was moving the mouse around, then those elements could interact with your mouse, okay? Something like that. Or if you click on something, then those elements could appear or something like that. and those are done with event listeners. Now, if you can only draw a two-dimensional elements. There's no spheres or dimensional boxes of such like that, I guess within Canvas, I suppose that's what I was told. And I'm going to show you the potential of Canvas right now, okay? We can get rid of this. Okay, so I'm just going to play this a little bit and just notice what's happening on the screen. Okay, so that's all done in Canvas. And that's like the animating version of that. And so I'm going to demo this right now. So let me show you the pieces. Okay, this is this page that I've done, okay? And I put the audio first, I've got the video, and it's so easy, it's no big deal. The canvas, currently, I'll just show you, let me rerun this. The canvas is a blank area. I could make this as big as I want. I could actually make this the entire screen if I wanted to. But if I click on this button, I've got a red rectangle, and then I've got a purple circle. So now I'm going to show you how to do something beyond that. Let's go into I'm calling this topic to HTML because it's the second topic that we're going to be looking at. So here's the buttons, and as you can see on click, when I click the button that says rectangle, it will go and run the draw JavaScript. And the JavaScript is linked using the script source Java. It's in a different little folder here, topic2.js, okay? So it'll go look for these in there, and I'll show you that right now. So here is draw and draw 2, okay? And this is a rectangle, and these are the dimensions. And so I wrote this here so I wouldn't forget, because I totally forget all the time. X, this is your X, and then your Y, and then your width of your rectangle and your height of the rectangle, okay? The coordinates are from the left corner, like this corner of your screen, okay? So I think X goes like this, and then Y goes like this, okay? Which is another wonderful math thing I always forget. And so this is your circle. Now circles are done with arcs, okay? And using this MathPy, you multiply it to get an entire circle, okay? It's just, if you watch that video I pointed out to you, he explains it beautifully, okay? So, and that's how I'm getting screen. Now I'm gonna add something else now. What you would do in order to do this is you would go into, it's really simple, go into your topic, or to your HTML, whatever you named it. And I already have the link to my JavaScript here, so I don't have to worry about that. I have put this over in Pad because I am like the worst typer. Guys might die before I get it done. So I'm adding 3 more buttons, okay? I'm gonna add a line 1, line 2, and line 3 button. And now I have to add the code, the draw 3, 4, and 5 in my JavaScript, okay? So I'll save this, and I'll go over to my topic 2 JavaScript, okay? So this is to draw a line, and there's only a few things you can do, frankly. You can do circles, you can do rectangles, which means you can also do a square. You can do, I've seen, like, you know, there's the arc. What else? You can do images. I've seen images. There's not a ton that you can do. So this, I've just added in draw 3, 4, and 5 functions, okay? This var_c, this is like your context, and I'm getting the context in 2D and putting it into variable c, okay? I don't think I have to do it every single time. As a matter of fact, I think you just need to do it once up here. But I'm just gonna leave that for now so it doesn't mess up, in case it might mess up, but I don't think it will. But anyways, so for to draw a line, you basically say begin path. I'm not sure what that exactly means, but you have to say it. And then move to, this is going to move to this point on the screen of that little box. So essentially, I'm saying move to 50 and 280. So I guess like 50 down, or no, 50 this way, and then 280 down. So it's like somewhere here. And then I'm going to say, I want you to draw me a line 100 to 200. Okay, and once again, X and Y values, and then this is the color. You could use RGB, BA or whatever, or you could use, actually I could write blue in there, the actual word blue. But if you want to be super specific, you can use whatever. So, and then you have to say the word stroke, which means draw it for me, okay? So I'm gonna save this. I'm gonna come to my page, and this is just, I mean, I could literally get rid of this. I'll show you. I don't know how much you guys have done this week, but you basically just, this is brackets, it's just gonna create it for me. Okay, this is my first page. I didn't go on my second topic. There you go. All right, so now I can create the rectangle. Uh-oh. Why? Of course, this had to happen, of course. Well, maybe I just didn't give enough time. I broke it, you guys.
Of course.
I can't believe it. I can't believe that. Wait a minute. Hang on a second. File, save all. Do something. Oh, there's not an end thingamabob. And that's the other sucky thing about this. You seriously, it won't give you any big message. It's not gonna tell you anything. You just gotta figure it out. So that's the sucky thing about it. Do you notice that I had a missing thingamajig?
Bracket.
So,
if you go to the console on the browser, it'll tell you stuff.
Oh, really? Yeah, so I could have done this, and maybe you've seen it somehow here, maybe. I still have this one. I don't know what that is. I'm going to ignore it, totally ignore it right now. But so I should be able to hit my rectangle, my circle, and then my line, I do it. This took me a minute to really figure this out. So I figured out the starting points of the last one based on, because move to this point, and then you're gonna, what, Kindle? Then you can kind of figure out where you're gonna wind up. And so basically line 200. So then I had it move to 100, 200, and then 200 to 280 to close it. So it took me a minute to figure that out, because I'm so awesome with the XY axis type of thing. But at any rate, that is as simple, that's how simple it can be. And the cool thing is once you get this done, you can animate these. So, and you could actually, I was thinking about bringing in an image or whatever, but I just didn't finish doing that or whatever. You can only have so much time to do stuff. But anyway, so that's it. Any questions you guys have on this?
You answered mine. I was curious, why not use autoplay though? Did it say there was a reason?
Yeah, because autoplay immediately starts playing when you go in there, right?
I
So
didn't
if
see the
you
mobile or
like
iPad.
like when I went into it, if I were to just use the YouTube recommendations or whatever, they totally recommend. See, it's going to start playing immediately.
Makes sense.
It's a good thing we were quiet, right? But if you go into the share thing and you do this embed thing, it already has autoplay in here somewhere. Where is it? Autoplay. I would totally take that out. It's so annoying to people. Do you like to go in and have them have their thing? I like to have the control. I like to be able to push the button and say when I'm ready, you know?
Right.
So that's the reason when I say it's just a better user experience.
Yeah, and my opinion is part of it is the user's expectation. YouTube has it on autoplay because you're expecting to watch a video when you go to that web page. That's what YouTube's all about. But on our web pages that we're making, that's probably not going to be the user's expectation. And so when they go to a web page that has it automatically play and they're not expecting it to catch them off guard, they might not have their sound turned down and they might be in a public area. It can be a little awkward. At least that's my experience with it.
Totally agree. So anything else? It's pretty easy, you guys. I think the hardest one out of the three was the canvas thing, and the coolest thing is animating. I cannot wait to do that. That would be so fun. It does take, I mean, basically how you animate it, because I watched a little bit of it, it's basically just JavaScript in a for loop and figuring out how you want it to move across the screen with velocity. You have some variables as velocity for the speed, and then you have, you know, just like how much movement or how much you want it to move. So like if you want it to move like by 4 pixels each, or if you want it to move by 10 pixels each, so it will be like kind of hopping across the screen a bit, or do you want it to be super smooth, you know, that kind of thing. So I can't wait to do it. It's gonna be fun. All right, I'm gonna stop this recording if I can figure out how to do it.
So is mine going to be a separate recording?
Yeah, we'll just make them separate because then you can submit that.